lesson on the Course in Miracles. I am your host, Christene Marie, and we are going to be diving into lesson 45. Welcome to day 45. And we are going to just do a quick recap, as we do in some of the preceding lessons. Lesson 25, I do not know what anything is for. Lesson 26, my attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. Lesson 27, above all else I want to see. Lesson 28, above all else I want to see things differently. Lesson 29, God is in everything I see. Lesson 30, God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. Lesson 31, I am not the victim of the world I see. Lesson 32, I have invented the world I see. Lesson 33, there is another way of looking at the world. Lesson 34, I could see peace instead of this. Lesson 35, my mind is part of God's. I am very holy. Lesson 36, my holiness envelops everything I see. Lesson 37, my holiness blesses the world. Lesson 38, there is nothing my holiness cannot do. Lesson 39, my holiness is my salvation. Lesson 40, I am blessed as a son of God. Lesson 41, God goes with me wherever I go. Lesson 42, God is my strength. Vision is his gift. Lesson 43, God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. Lesson 44, God is the light in which I see. And finally, today's lesson, lesson 45, God is the mind with which I think. Today's idea holds the key to what your real thoughts are. They are nothing that you think you are, just as nothing that you think you see is related to vision in any way. There is no relationship between what is real and what you think is real. Nothing that you think are your real thoughts resemble your real thoughts in any respect. Nothing that you think you see bears any resemblance to what vision will show you. You think with the mind of God. Therefore, you share your thoughts with him as he shares them with you. They are the same thoughts because they are thought by the same mind. To share is to make alike or to make one. Nor do the thoughts you think with the mind of God leave your mind, because thoughts do not leave their source. Therefore, your thoughts are in the mind of God as you are. They are in your mind as well, where he is. As you are part of his mind, so are your thoughts part of his mind. Where then are your real thoughts? Today we will attempt to reach them. We will have to look for them in your mind because that is where they are. They must still be there because they cannot have left their source. What is thought by the mind of God is eternal, being part of creation. Our 3 5-minute practice periods for today will take the same general form that we used in applying yesterday's idea. We will attempt to leave the unreal and seek for the real. We will deny the world in favor of truth. We will not let the thoughts of the world hold us back. We will not let the beliefs of the world tell us what God would have us do is impossible. Instead, we will try to recognize that only what God would have us do is possible. We will also try to understand that only what God would have us do is what we want to do. And we will also try to remember that we cannot fail in doing what he would have us do. There is every reason to feel confident that we will succeed today. It is the will of God. Begin the exercises for today by repeating the idea to yourself, closing your eyes as you do so, then spend a fairly short period of time thinking a few relevant thoughts of your own, keeping the idea in mind. After you have added some 4 or 5 thoughts of your own to the idea, repeat it again and tell yourself gently, my real thoughts are in my mind. I would like to find them. Then try to go past all the unreal thoughts that cover the truth in your mind to reach the eternal. Under all the senseless thoughts and mad ideas with which you have cluttered up your mind are the thoughts that you thought with God in the beginning. They are there in your mind now, completely unchanged. They will always be in your mind exactly as they were. Everything you have thought since will then change, but the foundation on which it rests is wholly changeless. It is this foundation towards which the exercises for today are directed. Here is your mind joined with the mind of God. Here are your thoughts one with His. For this kind of practice, only one thing is necessary. Approach it as you would an altar dedicated in heaven to God the Father and to God the Son. For such is the place you are trying to reach. You probably will be unable as yet to realize how high you are trying to go. Yet, even with the little understanding you have gained, you should be able to remember yourself that this is no idle game, but an exercise in holiness and an attempt to reach the kingdom of heaven. In the shorter exercise periods for today, try to remember how important it is for you to understand the holiness of the mind that thinks with God. Take a moment or two as you repeat the idea throughout the day to appreciate your mind's holiness. Stand aside, however briefly, from all thoughts that are unworthy of Him, whose host you are, and thank Him for the thoughts He is thinking with you. Y'all, this is so important. Effectively, if we want to be the host of the presence of God, then we have to be a place worthy of Him to exist and coexist with us. And here's the thing, it's like, even if we're not a worthy host, He still is there. But I really, man, if we want to fulfill on the fullness of what's possible, of existing in relationship with God, of existing in and with the presence of God, if we want to know the peace of God to the fullness and utmost, are we a worthy temple? Are we a worthy host? I love that she says this. Stand aside, however briefly, from all thoughts that are unworthy of Him whose host you are. Y'all, this is such a high aim, such a high call, and this is where Jesus coming and, this is, I don't want people to, hopefully people aren't going to turn away because I said the name of Jesus, but whether you believe that the story of Jesus really literally happened, it's still such an important example for you and me to examine. There's a reason why the Bible has withstood the test of time. The story of Christ is a mirror for you and me of how we get to exist, of what's possible for us. Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is now, and it's in you and me. And so when we're talking about pursuing the kingdom of heaven, it's not looking up and outward. It's literally reclaiming the kingdom of heaven that is within us, both because God resides. We are the temple of God. And that's what is so incredibly powerful. In the Bible, there was this example of like this massive, heavy curtain that divided the presence of God from the rest, like ordinary people. And as the story goes, when Jesus died, the curtain tore from top to bottom. This like thick curtain, somehow it just magically tore. It's symbolizing that no longer God was separate from men, symbolizing that now God's dwelling place is with and in you and me. And so because of that warrants such a high call. And y'all, I think I mentioned this a couple days ago. When I learned to hear the voice of God, that's the most life-changing encounter I've ever had. But it was on the heels of me pursuing Him and me purifying myself and me really seeking to get rid of obstacles that would be preventing His presence in my life. There's one other note that I wanted to make, and then I'm going to jump here in the chat. There's this one part where it says, "This is the will of God." She says, "We will also try to understand that only what God would have us do is what we want to do. And we will also try to remember that we cannot fail in doing what He would have us do. There is every reason to feel confident that we will succeed today. It is the will of God." I'm looking up a quote that I want to read to you. Let me see if I can find this. If I can't with ease, I'll just share it. Okay. So there's this quote that I read years and years and years ago that just brought so much peace to me. And effectively, it's along the lines of it's talking to you and me. And it's just this concept of like little sheep, how you want to do the will of the Father. How much more does the shepherd want you to do his will than you do? You can rest assured that he's not going to abandon you. And so, if we have the desire to experience the will of God, to know God, how much more does he want us to know him too? So, it's not like we're reaching and scraping in the dark, but instead we get to experience and know God because he wants to be known in return. So I'm going to go ahead and jump here in the chat. Good morning, Smart Man. Hello. Elijah, good morning. Gray, good morning. Lecter. Ray says, God is healing me. Oh, wow. I would love, love, love to know. I would love, love, love to know more about what you mean here. That's so beautiful. Elijah, I don't know if you're still here, but we talk about spiritual intelligence in the mornings. So please come back another time. We talk about all things emotional intelligence, intellectual intelligence in the evening show, which we go live at 8:30 p.m. for those of you who want to join. You either compromise the truth for a temptation or the temptation for the truth. That's so good. We're always making a choice. She Glemez. I hope I said that right. Robert Marshall, good morning. Oh, guys, happy Valentine's Day. I forgot. That's so good. I love it. I love Valentine's Day. Killer Bean, hello, good morning. Swiss, I don't know what you're talking about, but I agree. Sally, if you haven't already, save up on the couple of physical Bibles. Wow, interesting. Good morning, Embers Damon. Good morning. Andra, good morning. I'm glad to see you. She says, how are you doing? I think I don't know. They are asking, how are you doing? I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better, slowly but surely. Dan, good morning. I agree. Let's go. Phoenix has to be true, I think. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right. I'm just scrolling down. St. Paul of Damascus. Yeah, I really enjoyed the musical quizzes. We're going to start, y'all, just so you know, we're going to do another game night on Wednesday. We did trivia this past Wednesday for the first time, and it was so much fun. And we're going to do another one next week. Or no, this week, I guess. So join us 9 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. 847 Global says, what is a kingdom of heaven? What a good question. Y'all, I would be curious, how would you all define the kingdom of heaven? I actually love that you asked that. I honestly, I want to pull up. I'm actually going to look and see if there's a legit verse here that I can pull from, because I don't want to. What is the kingdom of heaven? I have my own answer, but I want to make sure that I give you the right way or the right one. So honestly, when I think of the kingdom of heaven, I think of there's this concept of the kingdom of heaven is righteousness, peace, and joy. It's like all good things. It's the fullness of the presence of God that we get to exist with. It's eternal. So it's kind of like tapping into that eternal part of us. I'm just looking here. I love that question. I've never had somebody ask that. That's so good. Y'all, I'd love to hear from you. When I think of the kingdom of heaven is righteousness, peace, and joy. So I'd love to hear from more of you guys. How do you guys define that? Okay. Timothy 2 verse 5. Let me look that up. Okay. There is one God. All right, y'all. I is described as you with a blank mind, mindlessly worshiping Yahweh every second of every day for all eternity. It's so interesting. It's funny. I don't know if I would have, like, with a blank mind. What an interesting perspective. I actually don't know if it's mindless. I think that actually we're very engaged. Like, I actually think that Ray says, Kingdom of Heaven will be full of humble people who all truly love God and each other pure. Y'all, I think so much of the Kingdom of Heaven is right here and now. Like, we actually get to access that in now. And that's one of the things that isn't talked about. It's always talked about some future day. It's always talked about, oh, but soon. Oh, but when the apocalypse comes. It's always talked about a future day rather than, no, the Kingdom of Heaven is now. It's possible. It's here. And that was, I think, why a lot of people didn't like what Jesus taught, because he was effectively saying, like, you can have total freedom. You can experience and know God now, and you don't need it through access of the Pharisees, and you don't need it through the access of the religious people. People in the religious institutions a lot of times want you to go to God through them. And what God is saying is that we get to experience him now, today, and that the Kingdom of Heaven is within us. And in that process, the Kingdom of Heaven is righteousness, peace, and joy, and like all good things. It is the presence of God. It is the fullness of what we were created for. I really believe that. But frankly, I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into that, because I just love that question. And frankly, I think we don't spend enough time considering what is possible on the other side of pursuing truth, on the other side of pursuing God. What do we gain as a result of that? And so I just love that question. Thank you for asking that. Y'all, I will be live again tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. And I hope you all have such a wonderful Valentine's Day. Talk about, we've got such a beautiful life. The Kingdom of Heaven is within. Guys, if we were to act like that, and we were to bring righteousness, peace, and joy, and to just really like love on the people we're around, how would that change the environment in our home? How would that change the environment with our children? How would that change the environment for ourselves? Like, how much more would we enjoy life when we actually, it's like activating the kingdom. There's parts of us that we choose to activate. We can activate health by working out. We can activate the kingdom of God by going inward and pursuing him, and really doing exactly what this exercise talks about, which is to really join the mind of God, and to see the world through his eyes and say, God, like, here I am. I surrender to you. I want to see the world through your eyes. I want to love people like you do. And all of a sudden, man, the people that have just driven us crazy, all of a sudden we just have so much more compassion and so much more love, so much more tenderness. So to that point, happy Valentine's Day. I hope you all just have such a wonderful day. And I will see you tonight, 5 p.m. Eastern. And I will talk to you soon. 86 Colombian. No children. I'm excited for when I do, though. Mauricio, I love this. We are in the Kingdom of Heaven now. If you can't see God in the eyes of your children, family members, and friends, in the trees, the sky, the birds, and the animals of the earth, then I do not know where. Oh, I love that. That's so beautiful. This is so beautiful. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful day. I will talk to you soon, and see you tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, where we will be talking about personal branding. Very, very different than this conversation. So I will see you then. Bye.